Okay, my name is Drew Robinson, and I currently don't have electricity, so that's why it looks like it does, um, due to the storm on June the 19th, 2019. Um, I was given the topic of digital storytelling. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I do know a little bit now, and I was glad that this topic was picked for me because it's very interesting. What is digital storytelling? To put it simply, digital storytelling is using computer tools to tell stories. These types of stories can include narratives, documentaries, etc. Digital storytelling usually includes multiple forms of multimedia, such as graphics, audio, video, etc. 7 elements of storytelling. Number 1 is a point of view, which is the main idea of the story or the author's purpose or point of view. Number 2 is dramatic question. It's a question that is presented at the beginning and answered by the end of the story. The question should be able to keep the reader's attention throughout the story. Number 3 is emotional content. This is issues or problems that come alive during the story that the readers can relate to. Number 4 is the gift of your voice. This is one way that a story can be personalized to help the audience connect to the story. Number 5 is the power of soundtrack. This is music or sounds that can help garnish a story. Number 6 is economy, which is providing just the right amount of information so as to keep the reader interested but not overloaded. And finally, number 7 is pacing. This is how quickly or how slowly the story progresses. Digital storytelling is being used in classrooms of all ages and all across our country. Teachers are learning that we must embrace technology and put our students' desires to use it constantly to good use. Students can use this technique to write narratives, but can also write autobiographical pieces. Digital storytelling can provide skills in the following types of literacy. Digital literacy. This is the ability to share with a constantly changing community in order to discuss issues, gather information, and find help. Global literacy. This is the ability to read and interpret information from a global standpoint. Visual literacy, which is the ability to understand, interpret, and relay information through visual images. Technology literacy, the ability to use technology to boost learning and productivity. Finally, information literacy, which is the ability to discover, assess, and interpret information. It can also encourage artistic students, give English language learners a new way to communicate, turn technologically savvy students into instructors, and create a student-centered learning environment. Joe Fathery and Craig Linval, 2 teachers of filmmaking workshops to educators, say that teachers should do the following. Should learn from what you watch. Think about movies that you like. What makes you like them? What keeps your attention throughout the whole movie? Also think of the opposite. What is a movie or movies that you dislike? Why do you dislike them? You can have your students watch films and go through these steps to determine their own opinions. See technology as a storytelling tool, not a teaching tool. Find programs such as iMovie that are easy to learn so that you do not have to spend your time teaching how to use them, but rather let your students explore it. Allow your students to push you and lead you. Do not be intimidated by the fact that your students will probably learn quicker than you do. Allow them to teach the class and yourself about the things they learn while exploring the different programs. Learn by trial and error. Be accepting of the point that you might not know everything and that it might not work the first, second, or even third time you try something. Keep pushing and learning from your mistakes. Give your students freedom, but hold them accountable. Have students design a work contract. They can include things such as a paragraph explaining their plans for production, a production schedule, etc. This can help hold students accountable for the process of getting this done. Consider yourself the executive producer. Even though it is suggested that you allow your students to work in a partnership with you for most of the process, do not forget that you are still the boss. You must call the shots and decide what is appropriate and productive for your class. Don't forget to celebrate your students' work. Choose your audience wisely, but always show your students' work. If they know it is going to be publicized, they are much more likely to put forth great effort. The following are examples of apps or programs that can be used in the classroom. Toontastic. This is a free app that will allow students to make their stories come to life through animation while also guiding them through key elements such as choosing the setting, conflict, and resolution. Once students have hit record, the app will record the figures, movements, as well as the student's voice. Story Kit. Another free app that allows students to create an actual storybook through photos/illustrations, audio, and text. It's best used for nonfiction profits. Book Creator. This app's $4.99, but this app seems to have a greater range of add-ons for students such as music, videos, or voiceover. Students also have the option of changing the font and color. Tell a Story. This is a free app that allows students to put themselves in view of the camera. There are costumes, themes, and special effects to choose from to help the students complete the project. One example is a student being able to play the part of a news anchor. Chatterpix. This is also a free app that allows students to upload any photo and make a mouth on it. The student can then record their voice so as to make the picture appear to be talking. This would be a great app for autobiographical purposes as well as informative pieces. Storybird. This is another free app that incorporates art with storytelling. Students can either draw pictures or choose pictures from within the app. Students can type their story as they go through, sequencing their pictures. These are the works I cited that I used to gather information for this presentation. Like I said earlier, I have no electricity, and I'm working off of a hotspot on my phone, and so this is my work.